6 o'clock, about to call the September 12th Madison City Council Session 2 order, please. And with that, we have Robin Scott from Asbury Church here to lead us in a prayer.
May we pray. Father, we just want to thank you for the many blessings you give us in this life, and one of those blessings is to belong to a community, to live together and to work together. And God, I thank you for the folks that are before us today that have chosen to serve, and God, we pray for discernment for them, for wisdom for them as they make decisions that affect all of our lives. Lord, again, thank you for blessing our community the way you have, for giving us the churches in our community, the services that we have, the great police officers and firefighters and paramedics and all that serve people, Lord, that are there to help and to be your hands and feet. So, Lord, bless this meeting tonight. May every decision be that which you would have us to make, and may we live lives, Lord, that bring honor and glory to you and that benefit each other. And we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Robin. Please follow me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we get the roll call, I just want to say that the prayer and the pledge is my two most favorite parts of this meeting. Today's been so hectic and running. And to be able to have somebody come every other week and pray for us as council and as a city, and I say the pledge, man, it just makes my day.
Amen. Amen.
With that, can we get the roll call?
Mayor Finley.
Here.
Councilmember Robleski.
Here.
Councilmember Spears.
Here.
Councilmember Powell.
Here.
Council President Shaw.
Here.
Councilmember Bartlett.
Here.
Councilmember Denzine.
Here.
Councilmember Seifert.
Here. Looks like we have a quorum, so we'll move forward. I know we have one amendment to the agenda tonight. Brian, would you step out?
Yeah, he did. We're asking, and you can put it under his line item if you would, and it would be for approval of resolution number 2022-247-R228, and it's a purchase of green space, and we'll explain more as we get to that.
All right.
So it would go under, I guess, E-D.
Yeah, under legal D.
Yep, legal D.
Are there any other amendments?
Green space. Oh.
If not, we'll move forward with that. And with that, I'll ask for the approval of amendments for August 22nd.
Move to approve.
Second. Motion, and who was the second? Connie. Connie was the second. Is there any discussion? If not, can I get the vote, please?
Councilmember Powell.
Aye.
Councilmember Spears.
Aye.
Council President Shaw.
Aye.
Councilmember Robleski.
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett.
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
Aye.
Councilmember Seifert.
Aye. Motion passes. Next is presentation and awards, and we've got a presentation of service award by police tonight.
Good evening, all. I'm here for a presentation of a 20-year pin for Sergeant Steve Reaves, who recently moved over to the investigative division. Steve has started out his career of service as an MP in the United States Army. Began his civilian career in Huntsville, in the Huntsville Police Department, but he saw the light and came to Madison. Been here for 20 years. Started out as a patrol officer, worked criminal investigations, narcotics investigations. Was a supervisor both as a corporal and as a sergeant on the street, and now he's supervising the detectives in the investigative division. So, Steve, just wanted to thank you for 20 years of great service.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next is Madison Street Festival.
Let's see if I can get this
I'm not a big speaker, so thank y'all for having us. Good evening, Mayor Finley and council members. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with y'all tonight and update y'all about the Madison Street Festival. We are 19 days away from our 40th festival, and we are just tickle pink and excited. My name is Crystal McBrayer. I'm the president of the planning committee, and this is Tommy Overcash, as many people know. He is my right-hand man and the logistic director for our planning committee. In 2019, Madison Street Festival had its best year. If you were there, you saw the 37,000 people come to our very, very small downtown Madison. Little did we know 5 months later what would happen in March of 2020. The pandemic hit and we canceled the festival very early that year, but we didn't miss a beat and we started to try and plan for 2021. We moved into the 2021 planning committee with a goal of making it our comeback year. Unfortunately, 10 months after we planned and participation was a little bit low, and some of our vendor areas, registration, we had to kind of bring it out a little farther to bring people in, and unfortunately in August we had to cancel due to the Delta variant and some other factors. But our all-volunteer committee continued to plan our comeback year for 2022. From the beginning of this planning year, the buzz started, the excitement started, people got excited, and we were able to go over budget this year with our sponsorship acquired. 4 of our 6 registration areas closed early due to filling max capacity, and our invitation-only areas are slap full. This year, we moved our children's area to a bigger field off of Maple Street into our interact zone, got it out of the big tent, broke it down to smaller tents so the kiddos can kind of get around and move, and all of the participants in that area are ready to do some fun stuff with them, so that's a very happening area. We also created a brand new area called Midtown Madison, which is going to house all of you in the city departments for Madison, so we're extremely excited about bringing that to the festival. This year, we have had our fair share of what we like to call hiccups. COVID has changed many things in our world, but our committee of 40 strong people have pushed through, worked hard, and we are ready to bring this festival back October 1st. Many people do not realize that our committee plans almost 12 months out of the year and that we are all volunteer. This year, they have been passionate about building momentum after not being able to have a festival for a couple of years. Due to the parking issues that we have in downtown Madison, again this year we will have 2 shuttles that run from Madison City Stadium and from Cross Point Church. So we're hoping that those shuttles will bring the people in, and with the help of the city of Madison, we'll have Mars buses there that will bring the handicapped in also. Early this year, we claimed our festival theme, which I think is really cool after hearing what the Mayor Finley's address is going to be. Come back here and celebrate. Celebrating being back together, celebrating our community, our small businesses, and our beautiful downtown Madison. Celebrate making it through a pandemic, celebrating Madison Street Festival's legacy of 40 festivals. The Madison Street Festival was created many years ago to bring community together. In the 90s, the Madison Street Festival moved to a 501c4 nonprofit, with the goal of supporting education programs in our area. Our mission is to provide a day of free family entertainment that unites our community as they enjoy arts and culture, interactive exhibits, and entertainment. We accomplish this through sponsorship and vendor fees along with donations. When we take our profits after that festival, it's essentially one big, large fundraiser. We take all those profits and we give back through our grant program. Since 2012, the Madison Street Festival has been able to give back over $60,000 to the community in educational grants. Currently, our grant application is live and will run until October 31st on our website, madisonstreetfestival.org, and we are excited to be able to give back yet again in 22. One of the biggest celebrations we have had, besides being able to get back together, is that the Madison Street Festival is now one of Madison's newest 501c3 organizations. I get a little emotional about that because we set a goal for that this year and worked very hard to accomplish this status. We look forward to continue our legacy by planning the festival the first Saturday in October and giving back to educational programs through our grant program. I want to take this opportunity to thank the City of Madison for your support this year and in years past. So many departments within the city have been so helpful and so supportive for us. We look forward to showcasing you, all of you, in our brand new area, Midtown at Madison this year. And I just want to thank you for your time and let me update y'all. Do you have any questions for me? No? Tom?
Parade starts what time?
Parade starts at 9 a.m.
Okay.
Starts at Insanity, goes down Mill, travels down Church, makes a right onto Front, goes on Sullivan, and then disembarks at the church and the school.
Okay, and then it runs through 4 o'clock?
Yes, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
All right.
So, hope to see all of y'all there, and please tell all of your people about it, because not unfortunately, we do have a lot of new people in this area, and I still talk to people every day that have never heard of the Madison Street Festival. So we would appreciate it if y'all would share that with people. Do you have anything, Tommy?
Well, from the logistics point of view, we could not do this without the support of the city. Public Works, police, fire, reg, the mayor's office have been just invaluable helping us pull all the pieces together, and we hope to have a nice day in 19 days.
19.
Like today, I know from the weather, the next about 12 days are supposed to be pure sun, nice weather, not too hot. Some years it's sleeted, it snowed, it froze. Some years it's still burning hot. We've had
100 degrees.
a tornado one year. We're hoping for good weather. Everybody be sure to share with all your friends, family, Facebook, whatever y'all do, and let everybody know about the festival, and we look forward to seeing y'all down there.
Very good.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you so much,
y'all.
Thank you for your work.
All right, public comments. Anyone like to address mayor and council tonight?
You can depend on some things just like you can the council meeting twice a month. My name is Angela Gary. I haven't moved in over 2 decades. On September 2nd, our city's beloved Mayor Burwell Sonny Wilbanks entered his eternal home. He was honored by his family on Wednesday, September 7th at 12 p.m. to receive friends, past co-workers, and extended family. His funeral started at 1 p.m. I'm here tonight, and I'd like to ask Paul Finley if he attended the funeral or the visitation to pay your respects to the family, and if not, he was sent as a city representative. Did the city send a floral arrangement? If you did not go or send someone, it's just so disrespectful and disgraceful. I'm sure you've heard more about Queen Elizabeth's death than the man that served this city tirelessly for more years than any other mayor. You wouldn't have the city hall to work in every day if not for him. Our school system would not exist because he worked tirelessly to make sure that our beloved Bob Jones High School was built on the south side of Highway 72, so it would be in the city of Madison. He was brilliant. He had a vision to see a second fire station on the north side of town. Since his retirement, there has been a fire station built on Hughes Road, which is on the north side of town, and a third station on County Line Road. I have begged Paul Finley since Mayor Wilbanks had a major stroke in February, and I started at the end of March begging Mr. Finley to let's do something to honor Mayor Wilbanks. I've had at least 10 interactions with him, meetings in his office. I am probably the one of the few citizens that takes advantage of meeting that open door policy in the mayor's office. I take advantage of that, or I have in the past. I've had at least 10 interactions by meeting and email to see that Mayor Wilbanks, please be honored before he died. It was obvious he was going to. 92-year-old stroke victims don't get better. Ms. Bibiachin also pleaded for something to be done in his honor. I will not speak for her, as she gets her thoughts across effortlessly. Paul Finley at one time told me it would have to be discussed at the next work session. The last work session was held in March. Ironically, the next work session was held on Wednesday, September 7th, for an emergency meeting, the very same day as Madison's beloved Mayor Burl Sonny Wilbanks was laid to rest. How pathetic is that? I was told on August 1st, my last open-door meeting with Mr. Finley, several things, and they weren't kind, because he is tired of my search for my mother that has been gone for 15 months today, by the way. No one at this city hall cares, although she was a dedicated city employee too, just like Mayor Wilbanks. I made the statement with tears in my eyes. You have no plans to do anything for him, do you? And I quote Mayor Finley, and please excuse the language. He said, not a damn thing. I was heartbroken, mortified, mortified, and infuriated that Paul Finley let those colors be seen by a citizen. I was not surprised after all the convoluted dealings with trying to get my brother arrested for using my dead father's credit card and what appears to be the financial exploitation of my 85-year-old mother with dementia by a city employee that is still employed and being protected. Council, I'm begging you to make right what is so wrong and discuss how you as a council can honor Madison's finest, one of his finest, my finest mayors. I was promised it would be discussed at the next work session, which is day after tomorrow, September the 14th. Discuss it and vote on the honor. Do not belittle a family and forget a man that was a huge figure in the history of Madison. Do your job and do what's right. Thank you.
Does anyone else like to address the council and mayor?
Me again. I wanted to thank Mayor and Council again for today, having that meeting with both the mayors. That was very informative. I had a question about the school board appointment that's tonight and some concerns, and maybe you can address that when you make that appointment. But I know some citizens are wondering, or just didn't know how that process worked when we had a school board member step down, and I know it was really close to when we had already interviewed some people. And so I know some of us weren't sure if you were just going to pick from that pool of people or open it back up. And I know a couple council members had asked for a work session so that could be discussed, and that wasn't discussed in public, so I'm not really sure what the process is. And I wondered if there is a policy on the books about what happens, you know, if you do have someone step down within some amount of time. So I just wanted some clarification on that.
I'll talk to that. Anyone else? Not, we'll close public comments, moving us to the consent agenda.
Okay, the Finance Committee is going to meet next week on Tuesday, September 20th at 10 a.m. The Finance Committee has also reviewed the consent agenda items and bills to be paid and find everything to be in order. We want to note the acceptance of a donation in the amount of $100 from Valley Internal Medicine and Pediatrics PC of Decatur to be deposited in the Senior Center donation account. With that, I would like to move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion and second. Is there any discussion? If not, can I get the vote, please?
Councilmember Bartlett?
Aye.
Councilmember Spears?
Aye.
Council President Shaw?
Aye.
Councilmember Robleski?
Aye.
Councilmember Powell?
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine?
Aye.
Councilmember Seifert?
Aye. Motion passes. Next presentation of reports, and we'll start with the mayor.
All right, and I'm going to start, if I can, with the update on our budget. As everybody knows, we start in the mayor's office working with our department heads probably end of July, or beginning of July. We work about 2 months working with them. They do a great job of talking with their folks, trying to figure out, and again, focused on our mission statement, which in paraphrasing is to work on improving quality of life by taking the money that you as citizens, trust us with and stretching that as far as we can to make the biggest possible impact we can in, your daily lives. And I think we do a great job of that. They then roll that up to us. We take a little bit of time, meet with department heads, and in turn, I guess it's the last week, presented that to the finance committee, who then will eventually present that to the full council. So just to give everybody just kind of a quick idea, you know, I started last year with this slide, and I wanted to keep this slide in here because still, again, you know, Money Magazine named Madison the 12th best city to live in the nation. It's the #1 zip code. Right now we're sitting in number one zip code in the state of Alabama, something we're really proud of. You know, it goes back to, you don't look for trophies in this job, you look to keep doing your job. But when you obtain things like that, it really makes you happy that you're working with a team of people, and that people love living here, and I know that they do. With that said, they ask us to continue to work hard for them and to take the revenues that they give us and stretch it as far as we can. Guys, it starts with our employees, and that's where we started our budget this year. So for the 6th straight year, our employees will receive a step increase. I say that our budget has in it, and council will make the final approval of it. Let me just say that we will recommend to council, and we did to the finance committee, for the 6th straight year, a step increase. We also, for the 6th straight year, will look to not increase the premium payments to our employees. That's at least about $225,000 a year that the city basically subsidizes to make sure that our employees are well taken care of. We also will ask for a 3% COLA, as from an inflationary standpoint, we've seen what's happened, and we want to help in any way we can to make a difference. You know, it starts with our employees. We continue to do an incredible job of doing more with less, and we have added employees as we've grown, but we do it in a way that's smart. This year we're looking to add 14 employees. 4 of those would be in police. 6 would be in recreation, and that's recreation and/or senior center. 2 of which would be for grass cutting. And one of the areas that we have found this year is in our neighborhood parks, because that's contracted out and they're struggling with workforce. We've fallen behind on that. So again, Corey Alford and his team basically, hey, we have the mowers. If you can get us 2 additional people that could not only help us in neighborhood parks, but we could kind of rotate through, they would look to add 2 people that they could help with that. We also, in those 14 number, would look to add a facility manager. Dustin Riddle and his team do a great job out of the building department, but with the additional facilities that we have coming on board, we need someone who can full-time look at managing those facilities. It gives Dustin the ability to work with his team on code enforcement and inspections and the different things that go on there. Engineering has asked for, and we without question agree, we need a CIP project manager. The best one we have by far is Mary Beth. Any project that she has, whether it's library or the $46 million multi-use venue, come in under budget. But as we've grown and as these projects come up, from road projects especially, we need someone that can be there each and every day looking to manage those projects. We're looking to add a person in communications, and that would be out of the mayor's office. Samantha does a very, very good job, but as we've continued to grow as a city, we want to make sure that we continue to add value to our community by continuing to communicate in the best possible way that we can. And then one other that's a critical position, but it's not one of those numbers there, but it's going to be added, is a bid and a purchase manager. And we handle that in-house. Roger Bellamy and his team in finance will look to initially take that on. It was run out of our legal department. The legal will move that over to finance. Finance will manage that. You know, that's a critical component, one, to bid it appropriately from a legal side, but before you even get to the bid, you have to have a scope of work that covers all the different pieces that could possibly be needed, and we're going to look to, I won't say revamp it, we're going to look to make it the best that it can possibly be by adding someone that's a complete focus on that. We also have a huge community investment. There's about $2.25 million for capital purchases. That's a fire truck, that's your police cars, public works equipment, recreational equipment. It's IT requirements that are needed to keep us cyber safe and the things that they need. So a big investment there. $600+ to support our schools for SROs and crossing guards. You know, every school this year is covered. You know, one of the things that the community invested in that we're still extremely proud of is the millage increase that was for schools, but a portion of that was also for safety. So they were able to add some things from their side, where we're able to add it from our side, and we continue to, subsidize that to make sure it's safe. About $650,000 subsidy to our Madison library. A big investment in our community. We know how much we value education. We want to make sure that they continue to have what they need. About $8.2 million set aside for land and or facilities. That may change a little bit. We've got a walk-on tonight that, I don't ever want to surprise council, but one of the things that's happened more quickly, and we'll just explain why, is we may need to look to do something there that in turn helps the community with some of the things that are needed. But one of the other ones would be public safety. We know we eventually need another fire station, possibly a police substation. We're looking to make a big difference when it comes to public safety. And then there's outside appropriations, outside agencies of over $500,000 in this budget, about a 50% increase to our Madison Chamber of Commerce, a 33% increase to the Convention and Visitors Bureau. Let me give you an example of where that makes a big difference. This year you'll hear that at Toyota Stadium on October 15th, they're going to play a Division I football game. Jacksonville State will play UNA. That was brought to us by the Convention and Visitors Bureau. And so because of that, we're looking, there's probably a six-figure possibility of profit that we split with Ball Corps. That makes a big difference for our community. We want to continue to invest in that. Madison Visionary Partners has shown their value in a big way by obtaining well over or close to $500,000 for Kids Kingdom through community donations. So we want to continue as we look to eventually figure out the funding for our community center, for a lot of different projects. They will help us obtain that. It's a 501c3 that focuses on areas of importance to the city where folks can in turn give money that's tax deductible but also helps our city. 50% increase in the enrichment center. That's counseling that's needed at the schools. We continue to see that, and then a 50% increase in the Partnership for Drug-Free Community. So again, an investment in our community organizations that focus on things with a more laser beam focus than we do from a generic side. A lot of different projects are in there. Two of the top ones, or three of the first two, neighborhood repaving. One of the struggles we have right now is spending our money. Getting the folks in here to pave is difficult. There's a lot of different opportunity out there. So again, we have 2001, 2002 projects, and then we're adding 2003. We have a little over $1 million a year set aside each year for neighborhood repaving. We want to try to do everything we can to get caught up and then spend that money to make a difference in our neighborhoods. A complete redo of Madison Boulevard from County Line to Zert. That's going to be a big community impact, not only to move traffic, but to make it more accessible and help with economic development. Waltrana restriping is a carryover from last year. There's only one restriping company in North Alabama, and we in turn trying to get them here is difficult, so that will make a difference in safety. Hughes Road, Halsey turn lanes, Sullivan Street and Madison Boulevard intersection are both to support Journey Middle School, so we'll look to do that. Waltrana and Gooch intersection and sidewalk. So that's an area, as we look to continue to connect our city, those are areas and neighborhoods that can't necessarily get to the greenways. This would be an area where we can help accomplish that, get them over to the sidewalk that's already on the eastern side of Waltrana and eventually to the Hughes sidewalk and different places there. I won't go through the rest of them. There's a lot of different things. This will be on our website starting tomorrow, so folks can get to that. Additional other projects. The top one there, multiple traffic signal upgrades. So one of the best ways, if you either add lanes or you make a big impact in your intersections, and so in the ability to add technology to our signal boxes where we can manage that and make adjustments on the fly, we have to add the hardware that's needed in a lot of those boxes, and there's money in for that. We'll complete Garner Street, start the projects of design for the three-laning of Browns Ferry out on the west side, Seegers and I guess they say Michelle. The Kaiser Greenway connection. So basically the developer is responsible for getting the Bradford Creek Greenway under the railroad tracks and then down to the end of his property. This would take it from the end of his property on Kaiser all the way down to Sullivan Street, eventually connecting the Bradford Creek Greenway with historic downtown Madison. Sidewalk at Lime Quarry, Palmer Park Phase 2 design. So where we've completed the new fields at Phase 1, we would look to design the next phase at Palmer Park in Field 2. A lot of neighborhood park improvements. We know the value that that has, changing out equipment, adding equipment. And then one of the things I have on here is the Palmer Park field turf planting. You know, Corey, I basically asked him, do we keep that in there? He said, absolutely. Every year that we do that, those are the best fields that we've ever had, and they are in the best condition they've ever been in. And again, part of what they do is focus on that. So over $10 million worth of projects that are in those areas. Way too small to see here. It'll be on the website, but that's the operating budget and where our money comes from, whether it's sales tax, property tax, operating budget. So these are the expenditures that are public safety, parks and rec, you know, general services, human resources, which is where a lot of our insurance and the different pieces sit for our employees, and then where the money is spent and what percentages that it has. Again, pretty far for a lot of you guys to see, but this will be on the website tomorrow. Almost 50% of the money that we have in the city goes directly to personnel costs. I don't want to, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the trash pandas. You know, the neat thing for us, and you heard Tommy Overcash talk about it, they have played all 63 games that they had scheduled, and this week, unless something dramatically changes, they'll get in their final 6. So this is the last week that the Trash Pandas are in town before the playoffs, which start the following week, and they've made and will add at least one game. And then lastly, all payments from the Trash Pandas and Ball Corps are up to date as of today, and they have not missed a payment. They've kept them going, and we feel really good about what this year's numbers are going to be. Home Place Park is finished. I wanted to leave that in there because I wanted to remind folks of what, again, was funded last year, and we're continuing and working hard. Part of the reason that, again, funding our chamber at a little higher number not only works for our small businesses, but it works for events that make a difference in our city where we can enjoy that. Football games right now, bands can play there. It's just a neat thing to have. You know, with the building formerly known as Three Springs, again, part of what last year's budget was a little bit of money in there to make sure that we could work on the architectural design. We're getting close to that where we would have the scope of work ready to bring a final design to both council and the community to see, at which point we would then bid that. Once we bid it, we'll know how much it's actually going to cost, and then we would figure out the funding structure that's needed, you know, from there. It's not funded yet because it just don't have an understanding of how much will be needed, but again, something that's 30 acres, 30,000 square feet, and again, something where we can enlarge. No longer is Madison a city for a senior center to just eat, play bingo, and go home. Very, very active community that we're going to transition that into something that's so popular for our city. And then the Kids Kingdom renovation started about a week and a half ago. That's about $1 million project, of which about half of that was raised through donations through Madison Visionary Partners. A very inclusive, renovation that takes what we have, that Jane Dow and her team did a phenomenal job in the late 90s of putting in place, but it was built in the late 90s. A little old. We want to make sure that it's bigger, better, stronger, and that's what we're going to be doing with that. So, again, in where we started, a community that continues to, we work hard as a team, and it's the mayor, the council, the department heads, and the employees that work together to try to make this happen. So I'll be quiet for a minute. Any things that you guys have? I know the Finance Committee currently has this. We'll make a couple of adjustments and eventually get it to the full council, and I think you're looking to vote on this at the next council meeting, is that correct?
That's correct, and we've got a Finance Committee meeting next week, so that if any council members don't have their questions answered before then, you can come there. Certainly send emails to Mayor or to Finance to get your questions answered. And then for the members of the public, tomorrow morning you'll get to see spreadsheets. We're going to load that on the Finance webpage so that you can see what the proposed budget looks like. I know there are a number of other organizations that have requested an allocation, and so they'll be able to see what the mayor's office is proposing there. And, I really want to thank Roger Bellamy for all of your work and the department heads to get this information to the mayor's office a few weeks early so that we could present this to you before we actually vote on it in a couple of weeks.
And when is that finance committee meeting for, residents to know about? Is it next Tuesday at 10 a.m.?
Yes, next
Just to let everyone know. 20th at 10 a.m. Okay,
And we may move it in here based on what kind of questions I'm receiving. This might be a better venue to try to host something like that.
Very good.
Great. A couple more things. I want to first thank our IT department. We made a quick change at the end of last week because we wanted to, when it came to the meeting at lunch today, the governance transition meeting, we wanted to do everything we could to be transparent, to be able to document it, put it on the website so everybody could see it if they couldn't be here. We also wanted to make sure that the Zoom part of it for Mayor Anders was ready. They adjusted on the fly, and then everything is working tonight. So again, they did a great job, and we really appreciate what they did. I want to echo what Tommy Overcash said on our police, our fire, our public works, our recreation. When it comes to the city activities that go on, our parade, which I think is one of the neatest things that happens in the city of Madison, is our high school has their homecoming parade up the main avenue and Hughes Road for Bob Jones and down County Line for James Clemens, which will be this coming Thursday. They do a great job of working diligently as a team to make it safe. That is something that we're, you know, as a town that's a small town feel with a big town, to find the balance of both of those. I can tell you as a community, I also want to thank our community. I had 0 emails, 0 phone calls from our community. And I guarantee you there were some people that weren't ready for Hughes Road to be shut down in that time frame. And yet, they value what we do from a community standpoint to make that special, and I really want to thank our community for that. Again, a reminder of the Trash Pandas. The last games of the season will be starting tomorrow night at 6:35 all the way through Sunday, which I think is a 2:35 game. I want to thank the Ball Corps team for all that they've done. They are a great organization to work with, and they've been great partners. And I do want to remind the community, celebrate Madison. We used to call it Connect. It was done at the Space and Rocket Center. This year it's going to be done at Madison, at Toyota Field. It'll be Friday, November 4th. We're getting that out to the community. It's a community event. So you'll be able to come as a community, enjoy activities. I think it's going to end with fireworks. We are able to give the State of the City address. We'll work hard to not make it boring and make it fairly short, but we want to share all that's going on with our community. And then I'll end. All I'll simply say is this: you can hear a personal attack, and I'm a big boy, and I can tell you that I can take all of those that come at us. A quote, which is just absolutely not true, but what we were able to do as a city is show our respect for our former mayor by lowering our flags to half staff on that Wednesday. Mayor Wilbanks was, one of the mayors that made a difference in our community. He was here when the form of government changed, and where we're all sitting here now was when he, along with Ms. Achin, were part of the team that helped make that happen. And we're very proud to have been able, as a mayor, to make that decision with council support. And again, our thoughts go out to the family. With that said, that's all I have.
Very good. District number 1.
Yes, sir. I just have a couple of items. One that was addressed, I did get a couple of emails, about 3 emails with regard to mowing, and did want to reiterate what was said, that to please be patient with right-of-way and parks in particular, getting to them as fast as we can. Hopefully with coming into great weather, we'll be able to get caught up in that area. And I want to give a thanks out to HR that they provide a service for us every year with the wellness screening, and that is such a benefit to all of our employees. Not just financially, because it lowers our insurance costs, but it gives our employees an opportunity to meet one-on-one with a nurse to talk about their health issues. And it's just, I know it's a big chunk out of 2 days, it's a lot of time and organization, and I don't think we've ever mentioned it, so I just want to thank you. As Mayor said, our employees are our greatest resource, and I really appreciate that you provide this service to all of our employees. I attended the government transition meeting today and want to thank Greg and Mayor and Mayor Anders for leading that. I thought it was a thoughtful discussion. I counted at one time about 58 people, which was a great turnout and very engaged community. So thank you to everyone for coming, and thank you for putting it on for us. And the best part of my week happened yesterday when I talked with 9 8-year-old Boy Scouts and spent about 45 minutes with them and just had a great time. I've invited them to come and lead our Pledge of Allegiance, and just, they said that they would be watching on TV tonight, and so just want to encourage them to come and lead the pledge, and reach out to any of the council members that are in your district. If you ever want us to come to talk to your HOA or Boy Scouts or anything, I think we were all happy to do that, and that's all I have.
Very good. District number 2.
I'll try my best to talk loud enough so you can hear me. Yesterday, I met with the Girl Scouts. Well, after Mara was meeting with the Boy Scouts, and so we talked about some community projects they might be able to do for their silver awards. Also, I wanted to mention that Mike Oliver was also at the governance transition meeting earlier and did a great job. And I appreciate the time and energy y'all put into that meeting and to listening to all the questions and taking time to answer all of those patiently. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Very good. District number 3.
So first order of business I have is I need to do an appointment to the Construction Board of Appeals, place number 3, and that's William. I can't barely. Stanfield. Thank you. So. I don't know if I need a... No, that's my motion.
Second.
Is there any other appointments? If not, we'll appoint him through acclamation.
Oh, okay.
Second thing I'd like to do is thank Mayor Finley for offering me his reading glasses, but I'm doing just fine without them. I just can't read names. But in all seriousness, I would like to thank Finance for all their work. You know, they get praised once a year for budgets and that kind of thing, but there's so many things that go on throughout the year, big projects. You've seen a lot of those that we see, and then there's some, you know, that we work on and eventually bring to public. So I'd like to thank that entire group. I'm excited about having the parade downtown. It's been a few years. I'm grateful for that. I look forward to having our events in October and having all that back down. We spend a lot of money down there, so I look forward to seeing that. I'd like to thank Public Works, you know, with all the rain we've had and those kind of things, and moving, just getting all the ditches clean, the trash, and just trying to keep up with that. I'd like to thank those guys, and that's all I have.
Very good. Got a couple of things tonight also, so we'll start with the replacement of Greg Hulsey for the Board of Education. So this was a pretty tough one. I went and sat down and talked to superintendent and the school board and talked through them, kind of some of their needs as Greg left, and they've got kind of a young board on there, not knowing what'll happen with the next people coming on. They said, hey, we really need some experience on the board now to kind of fill this gap for the next couple of years. So I called several Board of Education members, and they're either on council or they can't. They've moved outside the city limits, or they're on planning commission, or they have a conflict of interest or conflict of time. So exhausted all those resources. I did talk to all of the people that had applied, and we interviewed earlier. They all were willing, if we decide to go that route. And talking to the superintendent and them some more, they really needed somebody with some experience. So reached out to Tommy Overcash. He was on the city council for right at 16 years. He was a liaison to the school board. I think he interviewed everybody on there now. And I feel like he'd be a great asset on that board. I talked to numerous people here individually on that, and that's kind of how that we've talked through that. So with that, I'd like to appoint Tommy Overcash to the Board of Education for the interim term.
Second.
Is there any other appointments? If not, then we'll move forward with acclamation with Tommy on the school board. Next, there's a town Madison co-op board. That board expired on August 12th. So the three people that were on it are Steve Haraway, and he's nominated through, the county commission. So Wednesday, they will not nominate Steve for him to stay on. Our other two is Kenny Watson and Ron Klein. So I'd like to nominate Kenny Watson for one seat. If anyone else has another nomination? If not, we'll move Kenny forward in that seat through acclamation. And then Ron Klein's been on there, and, like to leave Ron on there. So I'd like to nominate Ron Klein again. We'll move Ron with acclamation also. That's all I have tonight. We'll go to district number 5.
I'd like to thank everyone involved with the 9/11 remembrance yesterday. The mayor and Connie and Karen and I were able to attend. It is so strange to be a part of living history, and it is so important to learn from history. And I'm glad that our city continues to remember that event and thank those who served, thank all of our first responders, and remember those who lost their lives. It's important for us to continue to remember and help those who came after to remember that day, that tragic day. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. District number 6.
I'd like to echo what Renee said. Yesterday at the 9/11 remembrance, it was very poignant. It was wonderful to sit there and look at our current police and fire and rescue people and know that they are taking care of us and are protecting us. And they're following in the same footsteps of those that lost their lives serving 21 years ago. And to me, it was hard to believe it had been 21 years. In some ways, it was like yesterday. I still remember it so clearly, and yet we are a long way down the road. But I really did want to thank our fire, our police, all those that served so selflessly to protect us. Second, one of the perks of office is getting to ride in the homecoming parade in the fire engine. It was a great parade for the Bob Jones, and I'm really looking forward to the one for James Clemens this coming week. It is so fun to see the excitement of the community. I mean, it's not like a big fancy thing. It's not like the Rose Bowl parade, but the excitement on everyone's face, and to just throw the candy to the children, and it was just such a community event. And I just love that about Madison, that we still have these small town community events. So again, I'd like to thank the police for keeping it safe, and just provide a great day. And I am looking forward to Thursday too. That'll be a lot of fun too. Second, I would also like to piggyback on what Crystal said about the Madison Street Festival. We really have been working hard for the last 2.5 years in order to bring forward October 1st. And I am so excited. The only thing she didn't mention was volunteers. We are still looking for volunteers. So anybody that has time on that Saturday to come and work just for a couple hours, and there's going to be training for it too. It's not like you just be walking up and not know what to do, but we're going to have advanced training. So anybody that can participate in that way, we would just love to have you join our team. But I've got 25 food vendors coming this year, and we were wondering if we get half that many. So it's just going to be a wonderful day. And I just want to thank everybody on the committee. There are 40 people that work really hard to put this together. And it's just a wonderful event, and I'm really looking forward to that too. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Very good. District number 7.
No new business this week.
There's no other board or committee appointments. We got public hearing. We got 4.
How are y'all?
Good.
Johnny, how you doing?
Good. First, I have proposed ordinance, number 2022-217, rezoning certain property owned by Homex Realty LLC located at 130 Forest Drive, west of Nats Road to R1A upon annexation, and we are requesting that this be continued to the September 26th meeting to allow for additional public notification that's required.
Get a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. I think Maura, was Maura the second?
Yes.
All right, John. All right, is there any discussion?
Johnny, remind me, I think when this came before planning commission, we didn't have any issue with this, right?
No, sir, it's just
Okay.
one lot with one home on it.
Okay.
All right, can we get the vote, please?
Councilmember Seifert,
Aye.
Councilmember Robleski,
Aye.
Council President Shaw,
Aye.
Councilmember Spears,
Aye.
Councilmember Powell,
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett,
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
Motion passes.
Before we do that, I wanna make sure, we didn't just vote to approve that, we voted to
Voted to
continue that.
Just to continue it to
It's the 26th.
Roger.
Our second item is, proposed ordinance number 2022-215, rezoning certain property owned by M. Ann Clift and Charlotte Campbell, located on both sides of Landers Road, south of Browns Ferry Road, from R2 Medium Density Residential District to B2 Community Business District. And again, we're asking, that this be continued to September 26th, again, to allow all the, public notification that's required to be done.
Move to continue.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? If not, can I get the vote, please?
Councilmember Robleski,
Aye.
Councilmember Spears,
Aye.
Council President Shaw,
Aye.
Councilmember Powell,
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett,
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine, Councilmember Seifert.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Oh, what about, oh, sorry, never mind. Wrong person.
Cameron does liquor.
Yeah.
Trying to make you do it all, Johnny.
Yeah.
Cameron's your beer, wine, and liquor.
So we have, two alcohol public hearings tonight, the first being Thai Elephant Incorporated, doing business as the same. They've requested an on-or-off-premise beer and wine license at 8760 Madison Boulevard, Suites P and Q. This is a new request for alcoholic beverages at this location, and everything's in order for this to be considered.
Okay, I'd like to open the public hearing, see if anybody would like to address council and mayor. If not, we'll close the public hearing and, ask for a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Where is this located again, Cameron?
This is in the Spencer Square Shopping Center.
Okay, good. I'd like to try it. Thank you.
And Suite P and Q.
Thank
Yes.
you.
They mind their P's and Q's.
Oh, wow, yeah.
All right, can we get the vote, please?
Councilmember Robleski,
Aye.
Councilmember Seifert,
Aye.
Council President Shaw,
Aye.
Councilmember Spears,
Aye.
Councilmember Powell,
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett,
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
And motion passes.
The second request we have is going to be down in the town Madison area. We've got MDJ Saza LLC doing business as Saza Series Italian. They've requested a restaurant retail liquor license for the location at 501 Town Madison Boulevard. And again, it's a new request, and everything's in order for this to be considered.
I'd like to open the public hearing. Anyone like to address mayor and council? If not, can I, get a motion, please?
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. Is there any discussion?
Do we know when they're gonna open?
I'm afraid I don't have that one. I don't know.
Soon, they're waiting on equipment is their problem, that they just can't get, so as soon as they can, they're ready to go.
Well, as soon as they can, I'm going.
I know you are.
And Renee's going with me.
I heard October, but that might be a hope.
Can we get the vote, please?
Councilmember Spears,
Aye.
Councilmember Robleski,
Aye.
Council President Shaw,
Aye.
Councilmember Powell,
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett,
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine, Councilmember Seifert.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Cameron?
Thank you, Cameron. IT.
I have two resolutions for you tonight. The first one is Resolution 2022-238-R, asking for us to be able to renew an agreement with RingCentral for our phone system. As you guys know, we switched over to a new way to do our phone system last year. It's been very successful. We'd like to renew that for another year. The amount listed here was the base amount. We will adjust that number some, but I have budgeted for the increase that will happen as we've added products and added employees throughout the year.
Move to approve.
Second. Motion is second. Is there any discussion?
We don't get to see you often, so glad we get to see you. Thanks for coming out of the closet and coming out here and telling us about stuff.
Well, we can now, through the phone system, we can have a video call if you want to, Teddy, anytime.
There you go. Awesome.
Can we get the vote, please?
Councilmember Powell,
Aye.
Councilmember Seifert,
Aye.
Council President Shaw,
Aye.
Councilmember Robleski,
Aye.
Councilmember Spears,
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett,
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
Motion passes.
The second resolution is 22-246-R. This is a new security system we're bringing in. It's going to take 3 different products that we use now and combine them under one vendor, under one pane of glass. I don't have the software name here for security reasons, but I'd be glad to talk to you guys about it offline. We anticipate that being about $54,176.80 a year, which is going to increase the price that I pay for those 3 products, but for the benefits that we're getting out of it, it's more than worth it, and I have budgeted for it in the upcoming year.
Move to approve.
Second. Motion is second. Is there any discussion? If not, can we get the vote, please?
Councilmember Powell,
Aye.
Councilmember Seifert,
Aye.
Council President Shaw,
Aye.
Councilmember Robleski,
Aye.
Councilmember Spears,
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett,
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
Motion passes. Thank you, Jason. Planning.
Our first item tonight is proposed ordinance number 2022-213, assenting to the annexation of certain property owned by Wilbanks Realty LLC located at 130 Forest Drive. This is the one you just approved to continue to August 26th. You can actually vote on the annexation tonight and annex it, or you can continue this one until the 26th as well. It'll just be in the city but not zoned until the 26th.
Can we do it all on the same
Let's
day?
just all say night. I'd
We should continue it.
Yeah, we
make a motion
continue.
to continue.
Second. Motion is second. Is there any discussion? Can we get the vote, please?
Councilmember Powell,
Aye.
Councilmember Seifert,
Aye.
Council President Shaw,
Aye.
Councilmember Robleski,
Aye.
Councilmember Spears,
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett,
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
And motion passes.
Our second item is ordinance number 2022-228, assenting to the annexation of certain property owned by Point Place LLC located at 151 Forest Drive, and this is a first reading. Or a first reading.
We're busy on Forest Drive, aren't we?
We are.
There you go.
There's nothing doing the
First
first reading.
reading.
It's first reading, so
It's first reading.
You go ahead and go to
go on
sleep.
to the next one.
Yeah. We don't have to do
Let
anything.
y'all know about it.
Yeah.
Resolution number 2022-229R, setting a public hearing on proposed property, proposed ordinance number 2022-230, zone, certain property owned by Point Place LLC, located at 151 Forest Drive, to R1A upon annexation. And this is a first reading as well, or setting the public hearing.
If you want to go ahead and vote on this.
You wanna go ahead and set the public hearing?
Yeah, you got to vote
Yeah.
on this to set it.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Make a motion to set the public hearing.
Second. Motion is second. Is there any discussion? If not, can I get the vote, please?
Councilmember Powell,
Aye.
Councilmember Seifert,
Aye.
Council President Shaw,
Aye.
Councilmember Robleski,
Aye.
Councilmember Spears,
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett,
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
And motion passes.
Next, we have, resolution number 2022-231R, setting a public hearing on proposed ordinance number 2022-232, rezoning certain, property owned by Don Bergreen, Joey Bergreen, and Sean L. Bergreen, located on the south side of Huntsville Browns Ferry Road, west of Morris Drive, from AG Ag District to T&D Traditional Town Neighborhood. And this is setting the public hearing.
Okay, Joni, you said, read that Resolution number again, please.
Resolution number 2022-231-R.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I misheard that. Okay, you're good.
Make a motion to, set public hearing.
Second. Motion is second. Any discussion? If not, can we get the vote, please?
Councilmember Powell,
Aye.
Councilmember Seifert,
Aye.
Council President Shaw,
Aye.
Councilmember Robleski,
Aye.
Councilmember Spears,
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett,
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
Motion passes.
Next, we have resolution number 2022-233-R, setting a public hearing on proposed ordinance number 2022-234 to amend section 49, M1 Restricted Industrial District, and section 410, M2 General Industrial District of the zoning code to increase the maximum building height. And this is to set the public hearing.
Make a motion to set public hearing.
Second. Motion is second. Any discussion? Can we get the vote, please?
Councilmember Powell,
Aye.
Councilmember Seifert,
Aye.
Council President Shaw,
Aye.
Councilmember Robleski,
Aye.
Councilmember Spears,
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett,
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
The motion passes.
And last, we have proposed ordinance number 2022-212, vacation of a utility and drainage easement located at 148 Reserve Way within Bridgefield subdivision. And, all of our, those who have to agree to this, the agencies and departments have signed off on it, and we recommend approval.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion is second. Is there any discussion? If not, can we get the vote, please?
Councilmember Robleski,
Aye.
Councilmember Spears,
Aye.
Council President Shaw,
Aye.
Councilmember Powell,
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett,
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine, Councilmember Seifert.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
John.
you. Engineering, come on down.
Good evening. So I've got resolution number 2022-244R, acceptance of the Village of Oakland Springs Phase 2 into the city's maintenance program.
Move to approve.
Second. Motion is second. Is there any discussion?
Just to make sure that everything has been accomplished that we said that they would accomplish on the front end before we take it in.
Yes.
Perfect.
Any other discussion? If not, can I get the vote, please?
Connie.
And you second.
I do.
Councilmember Spears,
Aye.
Councilmember Seifert,
Aye.
Council President Shaw,
Aye.
Councilmember Robleski,
Aye.
Councilmember Powell, Councilmember Bartlett,
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine.
And motion passes.
All right. I also have resolution number 2022-245R, acceptance of Heritage Hills Phase 2 into the city's maintenance program.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Yes.
Can I get the vote, please?
Wait, before you, I just want to make sure, and again, to let everybody know, one of the things that happens when they bring this and they get it approved is they sign up for certain requirements that are needed to have a solid neighborhood. And as we bring it into maintenance, we're now responsible for it. So the reason we always ask that question is, has everything been accomplished that needed to be accomplished for us to bring it in, that they said that they would do? So that's why we asked for a yes, and you gave us another one, so thank you.
Yes, sir.
So can we get the vote, please?
Councilmember Seifert,
Aye.
Councilmember Spears,
Aye.
Council President Shaw,
Aye.
Councilmember Robleski,
Aye.
Councilmember Powell,
Abstain.
Councilmember Bartlett, Councilmember Denzine.
And motion passes.
Great. And finally, resolution number 2022-235R, authorization to renew software licensing agreement with Bentley Systems. This is for a mapping software service that we use for various engineering operations, GIS, that kind of thing.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. Is there any discussion? Can we get the vote, please?
Councilmember Powell,
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine, Council President Shaw,
Aye.
Councilmember Robleski?
Aye.
Councilmember Spears?
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett?
Aye.
Councilmember Seifert?
Aye.
That motion passes. Thank you very much. Corey?
Good evening. I have Resolution 2022-242-R, authorizing a change order number 3 for the Dublin Park HVAC renovation in the amount of $9,968. When we put in the new HVAC for the pool area, we didn't realize that that would affect the obsolete fire detection system, so we have to put in a new panel and a couple of new sensors because they can't get the parts to the old one anymore.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. I think Renee got the jump ball. Is there any discussion? If not, can we get the vote, please?
Councilmember Seifert?
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett?
Aye.
Council President Shaw?
Aye.
Councilmember Robleski?
Aye.
Councilmember Spears?
Aye.
Councilmember Powell?
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine?
Aye.
And motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Legal, you're up.
Good evening. The first matter that we have is resolution number 2022-239-R. This is authorization of a change order for the Toyota field. What we had here, you may remember that we had a mediation that was supposed to resolve some of these change order issues. Unfortunately, Mary Beth didn't have all the firmed up numbers when it came to the sod and when it came to some of the drainage issues. So what we had was another change order that came through for this amount of $37,761, but it's mostly comprised of resodding and redoing some of the drainage. I've also been advised that a portion of this might have actually been kind of stepped up a bit because the sodding had to be postponed because of the football game. I think that there was some desire to do it earlier, but apparently by doing it later, apparently it increased some of the cost. So that's what we have as far as that change order.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. Is there any discussion? If not, can we get the vote, please?
Councilmember Powell?
Aye.
Councilmember Seifert?
Aye.
Council President Shaw?
Aye.
Councilmember Robleski?
Aye.
Councilmember Spears?
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett?
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine?
Motion passes.
Mr. President, resolution number 2022-241-R. This is authorization of an agreement with the Madison Board of Education. Mayor referenced it earlier as far as an agreement with for the city's SROs and the crossing guards. This is basically approval of that agreement between the city and the Board of Education in order to proceed with that funding.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? If not, can we get the vote, please?
Councilmember Robleski?
Aye.
Councilmember Spears?
Aye.
Council President Shaw?
Aye.
Councilmember Powell?
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett?
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine?
Aye.
Councilmember Seifert?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next, I have proposed ordinance number 2022-220. This came up for first reading back on August the 22nd, but this is an acceptance of a drainage easement from the City of Madison Board of Education. And basically, as I understand, this is out toward Limestone, and this was approved some time ago by the Board of Education out there as far as for the easement.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. Is there any discussion?
I think Connie thinks his time's up.
I know,
Yeah.
You're gonna have to speed through them.
I'll try to be quicker.
Can we get the vote, please?
Councilmember Powell?
Aye.
Councilmember Seifert?
Aye.
Council President Shaw?
Aye.
Councilmember Robleski?
Aye.
Councilmember Spears?
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett?
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Finally, the legal department has submitted a last-minute add-on regarding a purchase agreement that's been proposed for a property located at 228 Mose Chapel. I have put in the record and provided to you, Mr. President, a copy of the certification describing what this is. I have some copies of both the proposed agreement and a resolution in order to adopt an agreement in order to authorize the mayor to execute everything needed in order to purchase this property. But basically, I would, at this time, I guess I can say that what we have here is basically a purchase of a property, just north in excess of, $3 million. And due to some of the sensitive matters involved and associated with negotiating this land deal, at this time, as a licensed attorney, I would recommend to the council that you, go into executive session pursuant to, 3625-A-7A, in order to discuss this. Basically, the reason for this would be that only persons with that interest from the city of Madison should be able to discuss this, since there is a back and forth and there are, in fact, other buyers that are interested in the property. So, on that note, I would turn it over to you, Mr. President, as far as my recommendation.
Y'all want to go into executive session?
I make a motion that we go into an executive session for 20-ish minutes. Don't we have to give a time frame?
Exactly, and I would also recommend, Mr. President, both a statement that there will be, that you'll come back from the meeting, and also how long approximately we think it might take.
I think 30 minutes max. It shouldn't take long to talk through this.
And then we'll come back.
Second. Motion is second, then we'll come back and vote and close the meeting. Motion is second. Is there any discussion?
I made the motion, Teddy made the second.
Can we get the vote, please?
Yes. Councilmember Robleski?
Aye.
Councilmember Powell?
Aye.
Council President Shaw?
Aye.
Councilmember Spears?
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett?
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine?
Aye.
Councilmember Seifert?
Aye. And motion passes. 1:30 open. Can we go into 1:30? Let's go to 1:30 really.
Councilmember Robleski?
Aye.
Council President Shaw?
Aye.
Councilmember Spears?
Aye.
Councilmember Bartlett?
Aye.
Councilmember Denzine?
Aye.
Councilmember Seifert?
Aye. Motion passes. Is there any miscellaneous business and announcements? No. Motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Very good. Good night.